Give me your level of confidence going into this Super Bowl as opposed to other ones with the Kansas City Chiefs.
So that's a great question. Hi, Dan. Hi, everybody. I also need Paulie's help with something before the show's over, and I need an apology from you, but I'll answer your question first. I would say this is probably the second most confident I've been, but what's odd about it is the most confident I was the one they lost, the one against Tampa, because I think people forget what a dominant run that team had been on. That team had won 7 consecutive games to win the Super Bowl the previous year, and then was 14-1 when Mahomes started. He sat out in the final week of that year when they were defending their title and rolled through the AFC playoffs and then just got worked over in the Super Bowl. I think if the Chiefs can block San Francisco, that they can do real damage to the defense. And I think that the Niners haven't looked great in 6 weeks. Like, since the Ravens game, they haven't had one game where they looked dominant the way they did during large stretches of the season. And so the Chiefs' big free agent acquisition, Charles Omenihu from San Francisco, tore his ACL in the AFC title game. So that's a big loss, and you feel badly for him. But both these teams pretty damn healthy. And I feel like the Chiefs are playing their best ball of the year, while the Niners have kind of been up and down, so to speak.
How much of a concern was it, or is it, that they didn't score in the second half against the Ravens?
So I was not concerned at all by that. And I don't think that people fully understand the game the Chiefs were playing in that second half. So let me just go back a bit. Mahomes has had, in my opinion, one truly bad on him, that losses on you playoff moment. The second half against Cincinnati in the AFC title game 2 years ago. I know you and I argued about the Super Bowl against Tampa. I don't put that on. I don't think even though the numbers are terrible, I don't think he played terribly. The second half against Cincinnati, he did. Since that moment, he has not thrown an interception in the playoffs. And after being sacked on average about 3 times per game, he's been sacked 5 total times in 6 playoff games. The Chiefs haven't lost. I give that context for these reasons. The Chiefs' defense was so dominant against Baltimore that as long as they had a 10-point lead in the second half, I do not think Mahomes' number one goal was to score more points. I think the number one goal, do not turn the ball over and we won't lose. And so I do think there were plays to be made that were maybe 60-40 plays, 70-30 plays that he was like, you know what, not putting the ball in jeopardy, that if they had to go move the ball, he could have. And I think that's evidenced by the fact the one drive they had in the second half where it was a 1-score game, he hit the pass to MVS deep downfield. And so also, here's the other thing. Baltimore's defense is great. It's, to me, far better than San Francisco's. And so if there was any defense that is kind of built to slow down the Chiefs, that was the most surprising part of the game, was Baltimore has the perfect roster to slow down Kelsey. And Kelsey then instead had maybe the finest game of his career, all things considered. And so Baltimore did some really good things, but I think Kansas City was very conservative with the 2-score lead.